All right, working on a planter today. I don't know if this is the right thing to do or not. I don't know. It's probably dry enough. I got some ground I could probably go chisel plowing. I got some ground that's dry enough I could probably go spread fertilizer. You know, it all needs done, but I decided screw it. The planter needs worked on. I'm ready to work on the planter. We're already in this mode of finishing up working on stuff. I'm just going to work on right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm working on the planter. Get the planter done. Yesterday I actually stayed home from work. Monday I spread fertilizer on the wheat. I felt okay, and then by the time I got home I felt like crap again. So Tuesday morning I woke up at 6 to go to work, and something just did not feel right. So I texted my boss, said, hey, I'm probably not coming in today, and slept for 3 more hours, which helped a fair bit, and got up, got moving around, and called and asked if he wanted me to come up and try to work on something. He said, nah, just stay home. And so I'm glad I did, because I was able to work on some stuff, but it was one of them deals where I could work on something for about an hour, then I have to sit down for about 30 minutes and catch my breath, and then I can go at it again for about another hour. And by the end of the day I was doing pretty decent, but it was a struggle to get to doing pretty decent. But anyway, I got some stuff done at the house. I got I got the tarp on the seed wagon patched up. I got the marker arms, or the drill markers, put on the 66, and I got the 1950T serviced. Except for I had to order a voltage regulator for it, because the old Delco Remy, which I'm assuming is original since there's traces of green paint on it still, I think she's given up the ghost. I think the coil, the regulating coil, is taking a crap, because the day we went over and got it out of the barn and brought it over here, I got it out of the barn and it was overcharging like hard, and thought that's kind of odd. It hadn't been acting up before, and I goosed the throttle to give it a quick burst of juice, and something took and it started regulating. Well, yesterday I went to bring it down here to service it, and I couldn't even get it to regulate. Like, it was dead. It was over. The alternator had it pegged, and if you gave it too much RPM it just started squalling the belt. So I tried adjusting everything I could, and basically the only way that I could get it to take off and regulate on its own without having to touch the contact, and well, even by the time I got it warmed up, even if I touched the contact to arc it and tell it, hey, it's time to start regulating, it wouldn't even take off and regulate. So but the only way I could get it to do anything was I have basically all the spring tension backed off, and there's basically no spring tension on it other than the, whatever you want to call it, leaf spring that the actual contacts are mounted on is really the only tension it's got. So I ordered one yesterday from Maybaugh, but it won't be here until tomorrow because their UPS route got changed on them. So now I got to order before 4:30. Used to be if I got an order in by 5, I'd have it the next day, but that doesn't work anymore apparently. But it is regulating right now. I just don't know how long I trust it, which sucks, because I really like these old regulators better, because they've got they're built better. They've got actual adjustment screws and stuff in them, so you don't have to be in there with damn needle nose bending stuff and trying to get it. It's just they're built to be serviced, and the new ones are just not. So there's my rant on regulators. But anyway, that's the last thing I got to do with all the oil changed. Yeah, should be good to go other than that. And I got to do some adjusting on the hydraulics to see if I can get it to raise and lower this planter better, because it shouldn't struggle. Because there used to be a guy way back in the day when I first started making videos. There used to be a guy down in southern Indiana had a 12-row 6180 on an 1850, and it ran it just fine. So there's no reason why that shouldn't do an 8-row. But it just needs to pick up and down, or pick up faster. And we think we got an idea of why it's doing what it's doing. It's just a matter of making the adjustment to see if it makes it any better. Because I am getting the 1800 psi at the remote. So the pump's putting out and the priority valve is regulating pressure like it's supposed to. It's just a matter of making an adjustment and seeing if it changed anything. But anyway, we're worried about the planter right now. So I really don't have a whole lot to do to it. I got all of the springs that I need to replace all the busted down pressure springs that everybody was all worried about last year. So we can do that. And I have to put these inner scrapers on, which go on the back side of the fertilizer openers, back in here, back in, where's the bolt hole? Right there. Which is going to be fun because all the bolts are either gone or rusted off or what have you. So I'm going to have to take all the assemblies off and take the coulters off of them and probably ideally figure out a way to set them up in the mill, but I don't know how the heck I'm going to get a hold of them. We'll have to get them apart and see what there is, but possibly have to drill out or drill every single bolt out, which luckily there's just one per coulter, but still it ain't going to be fun. And then figure out why my doggone wiring harness for row 5 and whichever row started acting up right there before I decided to say screw it and quit using the monitor aren't reading at the monitor. So, which is what this guy is, nope, this guy is for. Come on, open sesame. Son of a Buick. So this guy is a sensor tester, but it will also test the harness and tell you if there's anything wrong with it. And it's made in the USA, which surprises the heck out of me. But so I'm gonna read up the instructions on this real quick and get some batteries. I doubt it shipped with batteries. Oh, I'll be damned, and it's even an energizer. Huh. So I'm gonna read up on how to use this, and I'm gonna have to take, I don't have to take them off, but I'm gonna take all the seed boxes off just to get them out of the way. And it's going to make changing them springs easier too, but we'll get all them boxes out of the way and then we can work on them springs and check all the seed, or clean the seed tubes out and check the sensors and go from there. So like I say, really not a whole lot to do on it for this year. Next year next year is probably when it's going to get the money spent on it, because I want to put bullseye seed tubes in it and put spike closing wheels on it, but she'll run another year the way she is for what I got to plant with it. So anyway, let's actually get something done here. Okay, I got all the seed boxes off, so now we can get to these springs. You want to know the absolute best thing about working on this planter? The part that just makes me the happiest, because I've been working on my boss's planters, and for his bean planter, he's got a 7240 Deere, which is basically just considered a 7200 max emerge. It's a 7200 family. It's just a, oh, what do you call that? Double frame planter. His is a 93, if I remember right. We just had to look up the year. Seems like it's a 92 or a 93, which would be about comparable to this. But that planter's all metric. This one's still all standard. It's neat. I love it. All the normal tools fit it. You don't gotta get all that bastard metric shit out. But anyhow, let's see what we got to do here about these down pressure springs. Them are a little crusty, I dare say. And there's chunks of spring falling off. Ow. I have to go get a longer wrench. Anti-seize for this would have been neat. Alright, these things are a little bit of a booger. There's not obviously a good way to get a hold of them. Oops. I need to clean the flaps up on this one real quick. Hold on. Luckily, you don't obviously have to be worried about hurting the old springs because they're junk. Okay, here, let me get closer. It's probably hard to see on camera, but these things actually have a slight, I guess you can kind of see, they have a slight taper to them. They're narrower here, and they taper, or they get fatter as you get closer to the hex. And then they got that stop cast into them right there. So the further in you drive them, the harder they turn. But if you hold on to the spring like this, it'll actually, as you turn it, it'll open up and let it go in. Although it is a fight. And you end up with something about like that. But you can see it's got the, which is honestly probably part of the reason these springs break down here, but if you look, you can see it tapers out as you get down closer to the end, but that also locks it onto the, so I don't know, 6 one way, half a dozen the other. Okay, now that we're back, hang the springs back in and where they go. And then anti-seize the dang bolts so that we don't gotta fight them so hard when they gotta come back apart, which, since these springs are the weak spot on these planters, I'm guessing that at some point I'm gonna have to take them back apart. Get that dirt out of there. And I want to make sure that them hooks are relatively straight. Just to kind of make sure there's no undue strain put on them. Unnecessary strain put on them, I guess is a better way to put it. All the ones that broke in two ways. Either the hook broke off the top, or they gave up the ghost down at the retainer. Bite, you bastard. Now wait. Well, this isn't the one I had to drive out. I was gonna say, there was one I had to beat out, but this one ain't it. Okay, let's try another bolt, see if it's the bolt or if it's the spring retainer. Okay, it went in that one. It's the bolt. Okay, I guess go clean that up real quick. But you get the idea, so I just gotta, I got 5 more to change, so we'll catch you in a little bit. And just in case anybody wondered how you change the down pressure on this, since it's not apparent at first glance, you squeeze these together, it pulls these pins in, and then you can change the whole space, or change the holes you're in. So that's how you change the down pressure. Okay, I got almost all the down pressure springs changed until I ran into one that I didn't see when I counted up what I needed, because you could only see it if you got underneath the planter and we're looking this way. So I came up one short, so I'm gonna have to order another one, which I guess I probably ought to order a couple, 2, 3, just to have some spares on hand, because shame on me for ordering what I need and not ordering some extra in case. But oh well, you'll have that. So anyhow, I guess now we can test the seed sensors and see what I need there to get that problem straightened out, and then hopefully I can get enough information out of all this that I can get parts ordered yet tonight, so I'll have them by Friday at the latest. Okay, so I read the instructions on the back, and there really wasn't anything fancy. I didn't know if you had to hook up both leads at the same time when you were testing something or what, but you got focus, you got 2 harness, and you got 2 sensor, and you plug one in at a time. So simple enough. So just go down much. I showed this last year when I was working on this, but you just go down the line like that, testing the sensors, and then we'll come back and go down the line testing the harness. Okay, so all the sensors tested good, at least at first glance. So the next thing we do is we come up here, and this thing's gonna get real pissed off at us. I gotta remember how to do this. Let's see if I can do it without doing that. I really need to get this thing set up to where that monitor's got power all the time. That way it's actually got memory and I don't gotta put that crap in every time. But I'll have to go back and refresh my memory as to how exactly you put all that in. So that's gonna be important. So let's see if I can just do this. Okay, so we got a green light, which means we're getting power from the monitor. And then, according to that, the monitor should now recognize that as a row. Which it does. And it is, I think the camera's picking it up, it's blinking like it's planting. So, that one is good. So we just go down the line like that. All right, well, the harness tested good, and I gotta believe, since that tester flashes the harness at basically at planting speed, if it was a problem with the signal going back through the harness to the monitor or the monitor itself, it would have showed up with that tester. So that's kind of got me thinking that I got a couple row sensors that are getting flaky and they're cutting out at high speed or at planting speed. So when you're shoving a bottle brush down through there and it's just counting, you know, however fast you can push a bottle brush through it, it can keep up. But when you start dropping seed through it, you know, 30,000 plants an acre at 7 miles an hour, it can't keep up. At least that's, I don't know what else it could be. So I guess I'm gonna order a couple seed sensors, and I remember for sure it was row 5, and I think it was row 2 that started acting up as well, but we'll have to find out, or I'll have to. Basically, my plan is to take it out back here in the field behind the house, and I have some old mycogen plot bags that I had given to me years ago. I mean, it probably would still germinate, I would assume, but dump a little bit in each hopper and take it back there and plant with it and trace the gremlins out of it, and then I can just the seed will be buried too far when I hit it with the finisher, and you'll never know I did anything. But at least I'm pretty sure I still got them plot bags. I don't think I threw them out because I'm pretty sure I wanted to save them specifically for this. But anyway, last thing I want to do before I fold up and get everything put away for the night is get these coulters popped off real quick. That way I don't have to bring the planter down here tomorrow. I'll just have these ready to go. So I need a nut driver, and I'm hoping to just be able to take them off here. So a ratchet and a 15/16 socket. Well, I'm officially impressed. 16 bolts holding them coulters on. Most of them don't look like they've been apart since the planter got put together back in the 90s. Not a single one stuck, not a single one broke. And didn't have to heat a single one of them. That's very impressive. And actually, probably older than that, because the coulter or the fertilizer system off there on this came off of a 5100. So since the 80s. But anyway, that's all I wanted to get accomplished today. I'm gonna be out of daylight here in a little bit anyhow, so I suppose get folded up, get things put away, and go in and get my parts ordered that I need, so that hopefully we'll have those by Friday, because they'll ship tomorrow. And Friday afternoon we ought to be able to finish her up. So but I'll work on those tomorrow. So anyhow, I think we'll call it here, and that's it for this one. I'll catch you guys on the next one.